RSS, BJP, and like-minded parties. They created a sort of a semi-atmosphere for Lord Ram. Advani's
Yeah.
Rath Yatra. People have registered that there were 1900 deaths as
Yes.
the Rath Yatra was passing. There was a communal violence. All through this, a sort of a social demonization of Muslims started taking place, and a sort of a fear psychosis has also come up. So some of the Muslim leaders also said, advised the Muslims not to travel in that day. In Mira Road near Mumbai, there was a violence. Then in Hyderabad, Ram Ke Naam, Anand Patwardhan's classic film, meaning people were arrested. Even Mahatma Gandhi had Lord Ram, and he used it for integrating the country into a Indian nation. Now here, the Lord Ram same campaign has been used in a very divisive way. Nobody can deny that Muslims today are feeling intimidated, marginalized, ghettoized. So in that sense, I see Ram Temple as a sort of a culmination of a process which began with Babri Mosque, a culmination of the first major agenda of JP RSS, which was to polarize society to gain political power. They of course succeeded in it. That success they want to consolidate, they want to make it more solid by the type of organization of this program which took. So here in India, a religious supreme has emerged, and political supreme has subsumed the religious supreme. The whole machinery of RSS, BJP, lakhs of workers and innumerable people who have been working in the community, aided by part of the media, part of the TV, and word of mouth and social media. A sort of, I may use the word, a sort of a hysteria was deliberately created. Since Mr. Modi came to power at the center, since he took up as a chief minister of Gujarat, he has cultivated his image. Here, Prime Minister is the only minister probably. All others are just touching his feet and going through his debates. Mr. Modi wanted all the focus on himself. That's why no Advani, because if Advani was there, people would say, oh, actually he was the person who initiated, Murli Manohar Joshi initiated, Uma Bharti. So they were definitely kept on sideline. So everywhere it was, camera was focused on Mr. Modi. And that, the peak of we saw when we had the Corona death certificate, even that also there was a photo of Modi. There is nothing new about it. He wants all the cameras focused on him. He is a more worshipper of camera.
The consecration ceremony of Ram Temple in Ayodhya was no less than a grand festival in India. Social media, newspapers, mainstream media, and even the streets of cities were flooded with posters and flags featuring Lord Ram. However, there was no surprise in people celebrating the inauguration of the temple. What surprised our country was the fact that religion is now completely mixed with politics, as Prime Minister Narendra Modi led the Pran Pratishtha. While this celebration was welcomed, providing perhaps a closure to the people who have been a witness or even involved in the Ram Temple movement. However, amidst this mass celebration, most of us forgot that the Babri Masjid demolition is a scarred part of our history. Also, let's remember that this inauguration of a partially completed temple took place months before the LokSabha elections. Let us talk to well-known activist Dr. Ram Punayani to understand the role of government and the opposition in this whole consecration ceremony. He is the president of Center of Study in Society and Secularism and has written several books. He has actively spoken about communal politics and violations of human rights on minorities. We have a lot of things to ask you regarding the whole Ram Mandir inauguration that has happened. So just let's dive into the conversation firstly. And so the whole Ram Mandir inauguration, we saw that even from the political perspective till the common people of the country, everybody was super excited. It was celebrated as a festival completely. I think I heard someone say that Ayodhya looks like they're celebrating Diwali now. And we understand that common people excitement regarding this is because of the faith and their involvement in this, the whole what they have, the relationship they have with Lord Ram. So we first want to see that how do you view the inauguration of Ram Temple, and where is the line between politics and religion in India right now?
Yeah. See, the average involvement of many people, because you are very right that in many parts of the country, especially in North India, parts of Maharashtra, people were made to be a part of the process through a very well planned, well executed network of RSS, BJP, and like minded parties. They created a sort of a semi atmosphere for Lord Ram. As such, last 30 years also, Lord Ram started becoming more popular in the from the decade of 1980s. You may be young that time, but that time there was a mega serial Ramayana.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
every Sunday it used to take place. It was like a curfew in the city. Roads used to be empty and there no driving hassles at that time. So Lord Ram has been very popular in the country more after Goswami Tulsidas wrote Ramcharitmanas, because this was the first time Lord's story came in Hindi, Avdi, because so far it was Sanskrit, so it
Yeah.
was not popular. So since then it was made popular, and this right-wing majoritarian party found it very useful to promote it further. Because earlier also Kabir had seen Lord Ram as a universal spirit. Mahatma Gandhi had seen as an inclusive figure, Ishwar Allah Tero Naam, and things like that. But this Hindu majoritarian party has seen it as a divisive figure in which he has been used in a way right from demolition of Babri Mosque to the inauguration. There has been an intimidation of minorities. There are, I must tell you, before the Babri Mosque was demolished, there was Rath Yatra, Advani's
Yeah.
Rath Yatra. Incidentally, Advani is marginalized now, poor fellow. That poor fellow or rich fellow, I don't know. That time when he took out the Rath Yatra, he may not have kept account of it, but people have registered that there were 1900 deaths as
Yes.
the Rath Yatra was passing. There was a communal violence. Then after Babri demolition, there was violence mainly in Mumbai,
Yeah.
Surat, and all through this, a sort of a social demonization of Muslims started taking place. Intimidation, demonization, then violence against them, and ghettoization. Now, ghettoization, we all know, has become very uh, a phenomenon. It has become a phenomenon. Like in Ahmedabad, they are restricted to Shah Alam camp. In Mumbai, Yogeshwari, Bhendi Bazar, Mumra, they have been restricted to that. And a sort of a fear psychosis has also come up. So some of the Muslim leaders also said, advise the Muslims not to travel on that
Yeah.
day. I must tell you that in Mira Road near Mumbai, there was a violence. Then
Yeah.
in Hyderabad also, Ram Ki Naam, Anand
Yeah.
Patwardhan's classic film, meaning people were arrested. And
Hmm.
some sort of a intimidation atmosphere was there.
Yeah.
So here we see two things. On one hand, a celebration was there. And I must say, popularity of Lord Ram has been there, but it has been enhanced in a proactive way by a political party, by a political formation. We can't deny that Lord Ram was a part of the people's psyche, more so
Yeah.
in North India, and that got enhanced by a political project of Hindu right, where they wanted used it to polarize the community. Now, whatever little we know that this polarization and then hate was spread against the religious minorities, so there is a hate, then violence, then polarization and ghettoization. So these are the processes which we are seeing today. So actually, Lord Ram's values relate more to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sacrifice, and Lord is not worried about whether he gets power or not. For
Yeah.
him, what is important that he keeps the word of his father for the sake of dignity. So now here the whole thing has been done to appropriate the political power, and that is something very different. Even Mahatma Gandhi had Lord Ram, and he used it for integrating the country into a Indian nation, cutting across religious lines. Now here, the Lord Ram's same campaign has been used in a very divisive way. Nobody can deny that Muslims today are feeling intimidated, marginalized, ghettoized. So in that sense, I see Ram Temple as a sort of a culmination of a process which began with Babri Mosque, a culmination of the first major agenda
Yeah.
of JP RSS, which was to polarize society to gain political power. They, of course, succeeded in it.
Yeah.
Already 10 years they succeeded. And that success they want to consolidate, they want to make it more solid by the type of organization of this program which took place. And secondly, somebody pointed out that here earlier in the time of kingdoms, there was classically in European countries, there was king and a pope,
Yeah.
king and pope. So religious supreme and political supreme.
Yeah.
So here in India, religious supreme has emerged, and political supreme has subsumed the religious supreme. So some Shankaracharya objected to the type of
Yeah.
way it was done. But the political supreme person said, no, no, nothing doing, because of the
Right.
immense power of propaganda machinery and the immense power of the whole machinery of RSS, BJP, lakhs of workers
Yes.
and lakhs, uh, innumerable people who have been working in the community, aided by part of the media,
Yeah.
part of the TV, and word of mouth and social media is sort of I may use the word, is sort of a hysteria was deliberately created.
Yeah.
I don't deny people had feelings, people do have feelings which are very rightly placed, but they get enhanced by such type of moves which are political, which have political motives. That you can't deny.
Also, so you've spoken about many things, and let's dive into each one of this separately. First thing is, of course, like you already mentioned, that the key leaders who were part of the whole Ram Yatra that happened, they were missing, including L.K. Advani, Murli Manohar Joshi, Uma Bharti. Uma Bharti was there, but she was extremely in the sideline. I think she was just outside the temple. She did not even take a picture inside the temple. So why is this happening firstly? And it seemed like the whole inauguration, whatever pictures came out, the how the BJP portrayed it, only the prime minister was at the center in the frame, and he was seen throughout, including Yogi Adityanath was still in the background. Other things were not seen. What does this mean, and what is it indicating towards, especially when it's happening in term when the elections are upcoming in a few months?
Now that's a very important question. Now you must be know, like what I understand, since Mr. Modi came to power at the center, since he took up as a chief minister of Gujarat, he has cultivated his image. Initially, APCO was hired to enhance his image politically. APCO incidentally was hired by many dictators also to enhance their image. So, image building exercise is important when you want to have a sort of a autocratic rule. So, India, as many people say, is undeclared emergency, and whole
Mm,
political power is getting centralized in the hands of one person.
percent.
Like
Yeah.
even cabinet is uh, going to touch his feet rather than being equal. Now, in a parliamentary system, the cabinet is that of equals, and prime minister is first
Yeah.
amongst equals. Here, prime minister is the only minister probably. All others are just touching his feet and going to his dictates. Now, coming to Ram Temple inauguration, the initiator of the whole campaign, I don't much appreciate Mr. Advani. Of course, I have
Yeah.
sympathies with him at another ground. But Mr. Modi wanted all the focus on himself. On the focus on himself, that's why no Advani, because if Advani was there, people would say,
Yeah,
oh, actually, he
obviously.
was the person who initiated, Murli Manohar Joshi initiated, Uma Bharti. So they were definitely kept on sideline. And interestingly, I don't know whether you have noticed that even the Yajman, one of the CS Tyagi or somebody, he and his wife,
Yeah.
even so we don't know his name. They were the main Yajmans, main hosts, but even they were sidelined. So everywhere it was camera was focused on Mr. Modi,
Okay.
and that yeah, the peak of we saw when we had the Corona death certificates.
Mhm.
Even that also there was a photo of Modi. So
Yeah.
you know that interest. People used to go abroad, and visa officers used to say, "Oh,
Yeah.
your photo doesn't match photo on the
Yeah, we had
certificate."
many cases of that during
Yeah,
COVID that
yeah.
happened.
And at every petrol pump, when you are filling in the petrol and paying through your nose, he's sitting there smiling,
Yes.
smiling that, well, look what I'm doing to you. So he wants to hog all the limelight. I have seen there were occasions when there were celebrations of somebody, and that somebody's name was down bottom little, and Modi's photo was on the top. That happens
Yeah.
most often. So there is nothing new about it. He wants all the cameras focused on him, and I don't know whether he noticed or not. Even the place from where he performed puja
Hmm.
was not right opposed where the Lord the image was.
Yeah,
Normally
it
that
was. usually
the
we put
puja.
the picture that, yeah,
Yeah, he was standing on the left side so that the camera angle can cover him
focuses,
and Lord.
yeah,
Yeah,
together, the whole,
this
they
is,
were together. That was
yeah,
the idea of the
yeah.
picture.
Probably he is a more worshipper of camera. I mean bracket politics. So that also became clear, and the others were marginalized mainly because of it. Other political leaders were not there. You did not see any Shankaracharya in the
Yeah.
process. You saw some, like, according to Hindu traditions,
Mm.
Shankaracharya is the supreme religious authority,
Yeah.
as we were talking about king and the pope. So Shankaracharya is close to that pope, though it is a fragmented authority system here. But you did not see any Shankaracharya, and all,
And they had already
uh,
said that they are not, they had boycotted the Ram
yeah,
Mandir way before that.
that's correct. So obviously, Ram Mandir, a holy desecration, they should be a major part of it, but they are nowhere. There is only one person and this is another deeper malaise, which is to undermine the democracy as much as possible. More you project one person as a reincarnation of God or a supreme power or a supreme being, as a cabinet resolution tried to project him, then the path to authoritarianism becomes clear easier.
Okay.
So that there are so many examples in the world where the single supreme leader is everything. So that's what happened.
Also, sir, we spoke about Shankaracharyas. So BJP has always had a history of, connecting with the majoritarian Hindus. And now that Shankaracharyas are the actually religious head, do you think, is this going to impact Prime Minister Modi's image, or will people question, the belief of Prime Minister Modi? Because there were many things that Shankaracharya had already pointed out. Firstly, that the temple was partially, still it's under construction, and
Yeah.
usually in Hindu scriptures we don't, uh, you know, uh, inaugurate the temple until and unless it's not completed.
Consecration.
Yeah, so that was one thing, and I think the Shankaracharyas also spoke that why is the prime minister inaugurating, because it's the priest's work to do that. They had questioned about the Virajman of Ram Lalla instead of the new idol that's been placed currently. So, is this going to have an impact on people's belief? Are they going to question Prime Minister Modi regarding this?
Very good question. See, ultimately, people believe what they are made to believe. And in the din of such a huge propaganda, who has the time to think the other way around? So people get flown in the whole direction of propaganda, which is created deliberately. So many people were very hopeful. Oh, Shankaracharya are being marginalized, so it will dent Modi's image. No, nothing will happen because he has a supreme authority. And thanks or curse to the media, which has decided to bow down to the prime minister in such a way that no questions are raised, no things are asked to him. So people, few noises here and there, they will pass off, and Modi's image, closer to that of a god, will be created. Has already been created successfully.
So there's going to be no impact even after such a
I
important
don't.
person
I don't.
being there. Also, let's talk about the message, the speech that he made in Ayodhya during the inauguration. One of the things that he said was, I'm just quoting it. So, this is a temple of national consciousness in the form of Ram. Ram is the faith of India. Ram is the foundation of India. Ram is the idea of India. Ram is the law of India. Ram is the prestige of India. Ram is the glory of India. Ram is the leader. And Ram is the policy. Ram is eternal. When Ram is honored, its effect does not last for years or centuries. Its effect is for thousands of years. So this has been already criticized by many people, that the way he is, because at least as per Indian constitution, our leaders cannot align with one religion and publicly, as per they can have their own
Yeah,
belief, of course. So
personal thing.
yeah, personally, as everybody has their own belief, they of course have the right.
Right.
But when
No,
they are representing the country, or when they are showcasing, they cannot. But in this speech, we clearly say that we can see it, that it's in favor of one particular religion. So, what is the message that the Prime Minister is trying to give to the people right now and across the globe also while representing India? this has been a historic moment irrespective of anything. So even the world has covered this for India. Everybody saw this. So what is the message that the Prime Minister is, trying to put out?
Yeah, message of Prime Minister is very clear because he is committed to Hindu Rashtra. And the message of Indian Constitution, as you correctly point out, is to have equal respect for all religions and equal distance from all religions. So you can have, actually, that's why I am reminded of the initial periods of Indian Republic when Jawaharlal Nehru was the Prime Minister. And even before that, let me remind you, there is a letter from Jawaharlal Nehru when there was a pressure that government should build Somnath temple because it was destroyed by Mahmud Ghaznavi. So Nehru writes that Nehru and Patel approached Mahatma Gandhi. They said, "What is your advice? Do guide us." So Mahatma Gandhi said, "State should have no role in building temple at all."
Mhm.
Stage one, stage two, temples get built by a social trust,
Yeah.
and then it is to be inaugurated. They invite the president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, to inaugurate it, and cabinet passes a resolution that president should not go in the official capacity.
Hmm.
Cabinet
Yeah.
passes the resolution. Today, cabinet is passing resolution gaga about the prime minister, and then Rajendra Prasad went as a personal capacity in the personal capacity.
Hmm.
That is a different
That's
matter.
fine. Yeah.
So that is one. Second thing is this is the attempt to undermine Indian constitution. When there is a classic thing that when you want to make some lines smaller without erasing it, you draw a bigger line. So we have a line of Indian Constitution, liberty, equality, fraternity, justice. So the bigger line is being drawn in the form of Ram being everything. So of course Ram has been there all the time. So you see Sant Kabir's Ram, it did not create hatred against Muslims. That time Christians might have not have been there as much. We have seen Gandhi's Ram, where Ishwar and Allah are brought on the same pedestal
Mhm.
of respect and this thing. So now this is a attempt by the Prime Minister very shrewdly, cleverly to draw the long line, of Ram as a total embodiment of all the values. Now, practically speaking, these are abstract words which he is using. When you use the concrete words are there in the Constitution,
Yeah.
and it is the Constitution which has to guide us. For
Yeah.
future years. So in Ram, anybody can put any value, right? Ambedkar will see Ram
Mhm.
in a different way. Please let me tell you, Ambedkar will see Ram in a different way. How Ram treated Sita, how Ram treated Shambhu, how Ram treated Bali. That is what Ambedkar will tell us. Still, there is a lot of value in what Mahatma Gandhi said. So here now Ram becomes an abstract entity in which Mr. Modi can fill whatever he wants. So here, this, of course, what he has said sounds very attractive to the ears. But meaning wise, what does it mean? Meaning wise, it means that forget the Indian constitution, bestow all your faith in the Lord, and leave the rest to me. Me means Mr.
Mm.
Modi.
Yeah.
That's what it means. That's what it means to me.
Also, now let's talk about the role of opposition. Do you think that the Congress took the right step by boycotting the inauguration invite?
See, I think boycott word is a wrong word. Basically, they did say that this whole event is being made a political event,
Hmm.
and we will not attend a political event. We have our respect for Ram, and Ram is a religious figure, so in which we have full faith and trust and
Yeah.
respect. So the Congress did a correct thing because going and playing a second fiddle to Mr. Modi, I don't think that is a right thing to do for anybody. I think those who are politically sensitive, I don't think this was the right occasion to go there. Had it been a religious function,
Yeah.
probably everybody should have gone and paid their respect. And different parties have different attitude, but I don't think Congress has done anything wrong.
Also, but though the Congress did not go there, in Assam on the same day, Rahul Gandhi was not allowed to enter the Patadwara Satra temple. And in
Yeah,
Karnataka, Chief Minister Sidramaya, he inaugurated a temple in Bangalore. And though he
yeah,
said about the
yeah,
same thing that BJP is politicizing the whole Lord Ram
correct.
thing in Ayodhya, but so clearly here we see that even the opposition, though not taking part in Ayodhya Ram temple, but they are also in a way taking a soft stance regarding religion, when it comes to this. So, what do you have to say about that?
See, in India, last 40 years, whole political discourse has shifted to the right,
Hmm.
where religion has taken a very central seat. So nobody can talk like communist and say that, well, religion is the opium of masses. Nobody can quote that. So that is totally out. But what Rahul Gandhi did was a different thing. He was trying to go to Shankar Dev's shrine.
Yeah,
Shankar Dev is a Sufi saint. So he's a Bhakti saint. Sorry,
yeah,
he's a Bhakti saint, and he's a very popular figure in Assam. So it happened to be on his way, and he must have planned it like that. And Sita Ramaya also shows that we have no antipathy to temples, so we can talk about that. And that is also under pressure because the whole thing is shifting to the right, to the religiosity. Religiosity is becoming intense in the society. So, in that context, I think many people under pressure are trying to say the things, except, of course, communists. They clearly said that this is a religious thing. We
yeah.
respect people's religion, but we won't be a part of it. That is, I think, one way, different spectrum of thinking in Indian society. That also shows the diversity of Indian society. That also shows the rightward shift in India's political discourse.
Right. Also, so usually, at least for the past two elections, we have seen that BJP just before the election does a very huge act that gets the limelight completely, and everybody that changes the whole voters' way of voting right before the inauguration. And Ram Temple is of course going to be a main thing. It was in their manifesto that they will. Now I think everybody is talking about this that Ram Mandir wahi banega to ban gaya. That is completely there. Is this disclosure going to be one of the, if it wins, if BJP wins, will it be one of the important factors for this?
Well, you remember Satpal Malik,
Yeah,
the
governor.
governor of Kashmir. He did say that some spectacle will happen before the elections.
Yeah,
Before last election, there was Pulwama Balakot. So he was saying some things. So this is that spectacle which BJP has created. But my friend, I have some feeling that this time it may not last, its impact may not last till the elections. Why I'm saying so?
yeah,
Because ultimately you may have a lot of emotions, lot of bhakti, lot of subservience, but the fire of the stomach catches up,
mm,
and the way hunger index we are sliding down, people have to live on the doles of ration, rising unemployment, rising poverty, and rising prices. These are ultimately, I think, they will catch up. Even now, there are 2 or 3 months, and so this, of course, they can create this atmosphere through media, and they are very capable. I admire their capability in creating whatever they like. That day I saw one of the newspapers, 10 pages, hello dear, 10 pages,
yeah.
highly paid advertisement, which you call jacket or what, for which crores and crores of rupees are given. 10 pages in the
Even I
major
saw
daily
Rajasthan's Patrika, which the from the start first advertisement page that we usually have till the sports page, every page had at least one story, if not more, regarding the Ram Temple, and the color was changed. Everything was changed for it, and that's a huge important paper, at least in northern part of India. And we did see that it did play a huge role
Times of
clearly.
India. Times of India. I did not want to name it. Nearly 10 pages only, first beginning 10 pages was only Lord Ram. So question is, they may be able to sustain it, but my feeling is that if opposition is uniting and if it is putting forward the people's issues in the proper perspective, probably the effect will wear off. It may wear off because Pulwama Balakot was another nationalist discourse. Here there is a religious, spiritual discourse. How long it will last is a question of doubt for me, because of course they have a lot of money to sustain it through advertisement. A lot of subservient media is to follow their line, but still the problems of people are so massive. So, I mean, the rising unemployment and whatever you see in Bharat Jodo Nyaya Yatra, how people are coming up with their problems. So, I think that the reality of the society may catch up to neutralize this huge aplomb which has been created.
Also, so talking about citizens, we saw that many social media users, from prominent figures to others, has well had shared the preamble on January 22nd while the inauguration
Yes.
was going on, and that also has been criticized. Like the citizens of India, the normal citizens, they have also taken an offense into this, and they are like that people are not celebrating the Ram Temple. And just to clarify, at least I personally thought that the idea was not about the Ram Temple inauguration, but it was regarding the political side of it, mostly
Correct,
because
correct.
there are very they are clearly Hindus, and they also have shown their religious side previously, even in media, and normal citizens who actually have endorsed their religious feelings, but that's also been criticized by the other citizens. So where do you see this going now? Because it's come down to at a very low level that people start taking
Very good.
offense even in the when others share
Yeah.
this thing
Yeah.
apart from the political perspective, because there it happens, we understand, and we do understand that after the whole Babri Masjid demolition, this inauguration is a closure for majority people in India, at least, who wanted the Ram temple. At least they got the closure and they are celebrating it. But just the sharing of preamble is something that offended people. Where do you see that?
Yeah.
Where are we going as a nation with this?
Yeah, if we continue to go like this, I think we will end up like what is there in Pakistan or Sri Lanka, where religion imports, it rules the roost, or some dictators rule in the name of religion. So there, I think all democratic values are done away. Right? Pakistan is the worst
Yeah.
example or best example. I don't want to use the word best. There is nothing best about it. So it is one of the worst examples. And my friend, I must tell you that even Sri Lanka, there is a similar pattern where Buddhism is the cover for such a majoritarian politics. Myanmar, similar thing. Buddhism is used as for the cover for majoritarian politics. So that way, I think we are going downhill. And if this our slide into such a type of a religious authoritarian regime is not halted, I think the people of average people, lives of average people, is going to be affected in a very adverse way.
Also, so what will be the impact of this on the Gyanvapi mosque case that's still going on?
Yeah, see, I think Gyanvapi Mosque, I feel that the best course for that is to leave it to the courts, and Muslim side should not agitate at all. Whatever courts do, they should quietly accept it. Like many enlightened Muslims are saying that why we should make an issue out of it if they want to grab through their majoritarian power. Let's focus more on the community development, our illiteracy, condition of women. Many, like there are many articles from enlightened columnists, Muslim columnists. I will also support that. So Gyanvapi Mosque, if they want to make, let them make it. And but the opposition, the way it was there at the time of Babri Mosque, even opposition was there till the mosque was demolished. After that, the Muslim side also just surrendered and they said whatever Supreme Court decide, we will accept it. So this Gyanvapi Mosque, I think they will repeat the experiment because now they have tasted the
Success.
success of such a maneuver. So it is quite likely that Babri, this Gyanvapi, then Mathura, they may
Kashi.
like to repeat for consolidation of their political power, which may be one of the ways to do it.
Also, sir, lastly, do you think that Ayodhya Mosque will also get the same limelight, will also get the same celebration? Because that was the other side of the Babri Masjid case, the whole demolition. Do you think will it also get the same, spirit that how Ram Mandir was received here?
Do you remember when once Modi had taken a Vivekanand Yatra in Gujarat after the riots? One Muslim had offered him a Muslim cap, and Modi rejected it. So believe me, the mosque inauguration, if at all the mosque is made, will not get any such limelight. If at all, if it comes up, it may come up quietly. Prime Minister is not going to go there, according to my calculations, right? And not such a hullabo
That is
will be
Prime Minister
created.
Modi again. Like, let's just
Ah, yeah, yeah, good,
clarify
good,
that.
good, good. Good, good. You said a very, very good corrective. A Modi type people will not go there. And the mosque, if it comes up now, of course, not much has been done. Its planning is very
Yeah.
different. It is going to be old age home,
And it's
elaborate.
2025, like they, at least for now, the committee has said that 2027 is going to be around that time the whole mosque will be completed.
If at all it comes up, I don't think it is going to get any such projection because we are no more a secular state. And anyway, I don't think mosque should demand, mosque should have such a projection. This competitive exhibitionism of religion at any step must be stopped, as far as I think.
Also, lastly, you said that that we are no more a secular state. So, firstly, why do you say that? And secondly, in your personal opinion, where is secularism in India now? Because you've covered so much in the history and that. So where do you see secularism now?
At the moment, disappointingly, secularism has been quite eclipsed in the favor of politics in the name of one religion. It is not religion, it is politics in the name of one religion dominating the scene. While the basic definition of secularism is that you treat all the religions on equal footing and you keep all the equal safe distance from religions as such. So here, distance, there is no question of distance. Our prime minister is also the supreme religious leader also at the moment. So that is the limit of it. And so in that sense, I hope secularism comes back to the society and we start again focusing on development of our industries, educational institutes, research institutes, care about scientific temper, think about reducing unemployment. I think that's what secularism stands for me. It is not just uh, believing in opium of the masses. That is, of course, metaphor. But basic question is that state is state, religion is religion. And let religion do its job of giving moral values to the society. That also I concede that many religions have very good moral values, and the all moral values should be respected by all. And while state has a very deeper function of being a guardian of the people, and as Mahatma Gandhi said, wiping the tears of last person in the line. That is what secularism in my language I will like to define in Gandhi's language to that extent.
Thank you so much, sir. It was great having you with us. What is your opinion about the Ram Mandir inauguration by Prime Minister Narendra Modi? Let us know in the comments below and like, comment and subscribe to Daily Salar Digital for more such videos.